She looked me dead in the eye one night and said, "I need time to heal, Daniel. No intimacy. Not until I feel like myself again." First, I thought she was brave for admitting that. Vulnerable. Honest. So I nodded, held her hand and said, "Take all the time you need, Emma. I'll wait. Because that's what love does, right? It waits." But if I'd known what was really behind those words, I would have walked away that night instead of waiting like a fool. We'd been married 5 years. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it was real. We had routines, morning coffee together, a Saturday grocery trip, little notes on the fridge. We laughed, argued, made up, and built something that felt strong. Or so I thought. But about 8 months ago, things started to shift. She became distant. Not cold, just quieter. She'd smile, but it was the kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes. When I reached out to hug her, she'd turn slightly, pretending she was busy. When I kissed her, she'd give me her cheek. Then one night, while we were in bed, she turned away and whispered, "Daniel, I just can't. I feel broken inside. I need to heal myself first." I asked her what she meant. She said it wasn't me. That she just didn't feel connected to herself. That she was dealing with emotional exhaustion. I wanted to believe her. So I did. I told her I'd support her, that we could work through it. The next few weeks I tried everything, therapy suggestions, date nights, even just sitting beside her quietly. But she withdrew further. She'd go on long walks alone, start staying late at work, spend hours scrolling her phone in another room. Something in me started to ache. You know that feeling when the person you love is right there, but it feels like they've already left? One night, I walked into the kitchen around 11 p.m. and heard her giggling on the phone. A sound I hadn't heard in months. Her laughter used to fill the house, and now suddenly it was back. But not for me. When she noticed me standing there, she froze, locked her screen and mumbled, "It's just a friend from work. He's going through a tough time." I wanted to believe her, but my gut twisted. Still, I didn't want to be that paranoid husband. I told myself, she said she needed to heal, maybe this friend was helping her do that. Weeks passed and she grew more secretive. Her healing looked a lot like distance. She started dressing up for work again, wearing perfume she hadn't touched in months. When I complimented her, she just said, "It feels nice to look good for myself again." I smiled, but my heart sank. Then one evening she came home late, too late. Her hair was messy, her lipstick faintly smudged. She said she'd gone for drinks with coworkers. I asked, "Was he there too?" "That friend you mentioned." She stiffened. "Daniel, don't start. This is exactly why I can't heal. You don't trust me." That night she slept facing the wall. A few days later I decided to stop waiting. I decided to heal myself. Not to punish her, but because I realized I'd been pouring into an empty cup. I started going to the gym again. I joined a weekend hiking group. I reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with. I started therapy, not couples therapy, just for me. And slowly I started to feel lighter. The heaviness that had been crushing me started to lift. Then came the night everything broke. Emma left her laptop open on the kitchen counter. I wasn't snooping, I swear. But when I went to close it, a message notification popped up. It was from him. "Last night was amazing. I think I've finally found my peace with you." I stood there, staring at the screen as my whole body went cold. My hands shook. I opened the thread. Hundreds of messages. Flirty, romantic, intimate. Pictures. Voice notes. All dated from around the same time she told me she needed to heal. That's when I realized she wasn't healing herself. She was healing with him. When she came home that night, I was sitting at the table with her laptop in front of me. She froze when she saw my face. "Emma," I said quietly, "did you heal?" Her face went pale. "Daniel, please, I can explain." "Don't," I said, voice shaking. "You said you needed time. You said you were broken. You said no intimacy, no closeness because you were finding yourself. But all this time, you were just finding him." She burst into tears, begging me to listen, saying it wasn't what it looked like, that she'd felt lost and he'd helped her feel alive again. I just sat there, numb. After years of love, after all the patience, all the waiting, all the nights I held back my own needs because I thought she was struggling, this was her healing. I stood up, walked past her and said, "Then I guess I healed too. Just without you." And I meant it. I packed a small bag that night and stayed at a friend's place. She called, texted, showed up at my door crying. But something inside me had shifted. I was done waiting for someone who already left. Months passed. I didn't rush to hate her. I didn't badmouth her. I just let go. I rebuilt my life piece by piece. Started running in the mornings. Took a solo trip. Met new people. And one day I realized I could breathe again, really breathe. Last I heard, she'd broken up with the guy. She sent me an email once saying, "I finally understand what I lost. I hope you've healed." I didn't reply. Because she was right, I had healed. Just not the way she thought I would. And that's the thing about love, sometimes the person who breaks you is the same one who teaches you how to rebuild. But when I look back now, I don't feel anger anymore. Just peace. Because the day she said, "I need to heal myself," she unknowingly gave me permission to do the same, and I did. Only difference is, my healing didn't require betrayal. Hers did. And that's why when people ask if I'd ever take her back, I just smile and say, no, I've already healed without her.